guys, Probable1701 here, and today we're going to be talking about what I think is the most mediocre Dalek story in Doctor Who. Just the most meh story. Not necessarily a bad story, certainly not a good story. It's a story I can certainly watch, but it's just kind of there. Now, there's several stories I think people could argue for this. Some people might argue Asylum of the Daleks, which I actually enjoy, even though it has a lot of flaws. The Witch's Familiar, Magician's Apprentice, Daleks in Manhattan, which could be the most mediocre of the modern series, honestly. And then there's also some you could argue, like Death to the Daleks, Planet of the Daleks. But for me, the most just story is definitely Destiny of the Daleks. It's not a bad story, especially on paper. Just the execution, I don't think is done very well. Let's talk about it. First off, the Movellan design is silly and ridiculous and definitely belongs in season 17. I think they spent so much of the budget on doing like location and filming for stuff like City of Death and Shada, which are both fantastic stories and greatly benefit from the location shoots. But I really think that took the budget away from other episodes. You know, you look at the creature from Creature of the Pit, or you look at the sets for the Horns of Naimon, and they're silly. Destiny of the Daleks is no different. The costume design for the Movellans is goofy. They're supposed to be robots, but they look so silly with the hair and the outfits. I mean, even by classic Who standards, they just look silly. And I find it hard to take them seriously. I do think the actors do a good job of being emotionless, especially the lead Movellan. He does a really good job of being emotionless, and he has this very neutral voice that doesn't sound effeminate, but it doesn't sound masculine. It's almost like it's a gender neutral voice, and I don't know if that's his real voice or the voice he's doing for this character. But it fits really well with a robot, of really having no gender quality to it, which I find interesting for him. So I do appreciate the actors, all of the actors really here, and being emotionless. I also don't like the fact that Movellan's guns look kind of silly, but it's classic Who. I'm willing to forgive that. I don't like the fact that my sinuses are really up today. It's cold outside. That they can simply be stopped by grabbing that little remote on their waist. I mean, all you have to do is grab that remote and you hear that whoop, 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 and then they just slowly fall down. It's so dumb. The sound is dumb. The fact they don't just fall over or stop in place, but it slowly lay down is dumb. The fact that you can stop them just by grabbing the thing at their belt is dumb, 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 dumb. They've got to be the easiest Doctor Who villain to stop in history, if you want to call them villains. They got us. Oh, let's grab that little hook off their belt. That got them. Then you can reprogram it to do whatever you want, including help you. It's just dumb, 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 dumb. The set design is terrible. Like, the Movellan ship is not so bad, but when they're actually in, like, the depths of Skaro, like where they find Davros, it looks terrible. It just looks like a cheap set put up by a 5th grader. And again, I think the budget was gone because of all the work they did for Shada and City of Death. But, like, for instance, where they find Davros doesn't look anything like where he actually got killed in Genesis of the Daleks. It doesn't look anything like it. It looks, terrible, terrible, terrible. That set design right there. The part where there's the little ramp leading down where Tom infamously tells them, you know, if you're the superior race, why don't you follow us up? Just that set design right there is bad, 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 bad. What else? A lot of it's filmed in the quarry. A lot of Doctor Who's filmed in quarries, so I guess that's just par for the course. I do love that scene when Tom's like, oh, look, rocks. I get a kick out of that. Tom is the best part of this story. He's easily the one thing in the story that really keeps it going for me. Even that part where he's like, back off! Because it sounds like he's going to say stand back, and instead he says back off. I don't know the word I'm looking for. The energy in his voice when he says, back off! I love that. I really like the scene when he's talking about the paper, rock, scissors. I actually enjoy that. Paper, piece, rock. or yeah, paper beats rock, scissors beat rock, or rock beats scissors. That whole bit right there when he's trying to get that point across to the Movellans is really, really good. The part where he's pinned down under the rubble and he's just reading is like Tom's great in this. I actually really like Tom. He's the reason why this is a mediocre story and not a bad story to me. He's on point here, and I really like him in it. Lala, not so much. I'm not a big fan of Lala. I like her at the beginning, that little scene when she's regenerating. She's adorable in that. I don't really care for her as much. I like Mary's Romana a lot better. Lala's kind of on the lower end of my companion scale. I don't really care for Romana too. I do enjoy that scene at the beginning with her regeneration because it's funny. I mean, it's kind of silly, but I like it, and it just shows she can do stuff better than him. Because he is, at least back then, supposed to be not exactly an average Time Lord. He's kind of below average, really, as a Time Lord. And so this just kind of shows that she can do it better than him. And I don't know, it's just a fun, silly little scene that I like. It doesn't kind of make sense, especially when you factor in how they regenerate in the modern series, but I still enjoy it. It's silly for what it is. It's meant to be lighthearted. It's season 17 after all, so it's meant to be a little campy and silly. Davros in this one's not as good. It's not the actor's fault. The mask obviously does not fit him like it does Michael Wisher because they couldn't get Michael Wisher back. His voice, though, is off, too. Maybe it's muffled because of the mask. And I'm not really happy with them bringing Davros back anyway. I mean, we've had some other good Davros episodes after this one, we really have. But there's a part of me that always kind of wishes he really had just went out at the end of Genesis with the last thing he realized before he died was he had made a mistake and was trying to stop it. You know, kind of a creator being killed by his own creation-like thing. Kind of a, Dr. Frankenstein and Frankenstein's monster setup there. I really like that. You learn the lesson of playing God just in time to die. And I kind of like how Davros went out like that. So, seeing him come back here and immediately want to start helping the Daleks again, I'm like, I don't know. It seems so poorly thought out. The script is not bad in and of itself. It's not great. It's all right. The execution just doesn't work for me. Again, it's really hard to talk a lot about this episode. It's just so forgettable. I do like the enhanced special effects they did for the DVD. It doesn't change the story a lot, and I can watch the original version just fine. But I do like the fact that Movellans' weapons actually fire the beams now. So it's a slight improvement. Not a lot, but if I'm going to watch it, I'll probably just watch it with the enhanced effects. But I'm fine either way. Yeah, there's not really a lot more to say about it. Destiny of the Daleks is just there. I mean, it's not bad. It's certainly watchable. I watched it just about a month ago. I went through again, and, it's definitely watchable. It's not bad. It definitely isn't my worst Dalek story ever list. It's just my most mediocre, story. And that, to me, is Destiny of the Daleks. I think Tom's the one real big saving grace here. The Dalek voices aren't bad in it either. They're all right. Much better than some of the Dalek stories. And then some of the, like I said, the Movellan actors do a good job, but their design's crap. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Destiny of the Daleks. What do you think of Destiny of the Daleks? Where does it rank on your Dalek list? List of Dalek stories. A lot of other things to do. Comment down below. Let me know what you think of Destiny of the Daleks. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Do you think it's overrated? Do you think it's underrated? Do you think it's meh, like most people seem to consider it? Other stuff to do. Click the like button. Click the subscribe button. Click the bell for notifications. I have started a Patreon page if you would like to support me on that. A link to that will be in the description below. Most importantly, though, stay safe out there, and thank you for watching.